I was on campus for a long time because they didn't want anybody to leave, and I actually had to walk down Thorne, and I had to take Thorne down another road just to get to Ritchie, just so I could get a ride because the schools are blocked off.
So did you have to leave your car there on campus then?
Yes, actually my car is over there on the side of which, everything was happening.
So what time would you say did you hear those gunshots?
I say it was around 12, a little bit after 12, because our class starts at 12:30, and I had gotten there early so I could study. And, apparently I didn't get to do that, and our teacher was not even there as soon as we got there.
So when you heard those gunshots, what was your initial reaction?
Frightened. You hear something like that, and, we're from Texas, so everybody knows what shots sound like, and it gave you a chill in your heart. You didn't know what to do, but you did know you had to get out of there. So
is that what you did then, Kathy? Were you able to just get outside of the building? How far was your classroom away from an entrance outside?
It wasn't as easy as just getting up and grabbing your books and leaving. We actually had another classmate that was with us, and he pretty much was like, here, we're going to go this way, and he was aggressive. He fought his way through the crowd, and we were just running with everybody else just to run to the other side of where it was not happening.
And how soon after you heard those gunshots and were able to get out of the building did police arrive?
I say the police arrived maybe like 5 to 10 minutes later. We just started hearing, the sirens, and then we heard helicopters, and we just started hearing everything.
And did the police give you any information at that time?
No, there's a lot on campus, but there's really no information that's given. They just wanted everybody to go ahead and find, a safe place and be able to wait it down, or you can start finding your ride and leaving. But that was it. So,
Kathy, this was basically then between classes? Had classes start yet? Was it between bells, or is that when it happened?
Well, everybody has a different schedule, but if, you're waiting for your 12:30 class and you were there, from 12 to 12:30, that's around the time that it happened.
Did you see anyone carrying a weapon at all?
No, and I had actually just walked through that area that they said that it happened at. I had actually just walked through that area, and it was very crowded. There's lots of students there. There's people, on their computers, on their phones, with their books. Everybody just looked normal. It was just a normal day there.
By the time that you had gotten, explain what building you were in as well. This is close to the campus library, right?
Yes. I was actually in the Winship building, and it's right there next to the classroom that I was at. It's right next to where I guess you would say the quad is, where everything you can sit out at.
So where do you think the shooting took place then? Do you think it was in that building that you were in?
No. It was somewhere right there between it by the library. Because you could hear it vividly. I mean, it was loud.
And do you think there was just one person who was firing a weapon, or multiple people?
I really don't know.
Did it sound like one weapon, or?
Yes, it did sound like one weapon.
And then what was the reaction of the other students around you when that happened?
Some people were crying, some people were screaming, and, other people were on their phone already. I was trying to call for a ride. But then the phone's locked up, nobody could call out, so even more chaos because you weren't able to find a way to get a hold of anybody to let them know you're okay.
And Kathy, for someone who has not been on that campus, what year of a student are you there?
This is actually my first year.
This is your first year, and you've been to the library, I'm sure. Can you lay that out for us? Because what we're hearing right now is that they are really law enforcement combing the library. We've heard that they've cleared the first floor, cleared the second floor, and possibly moving to the third floor. Can you lay that out for us, paint that picture of what that library looks like?
Well, if you're walking in the library, the bottom is pretty much just with director's offices and such forth. You go up the next layer, and you're just the basic books of what you need. It has maybe a couple study areas for you, and then the top is for like reference books. That's pretty much it. It's just really a basic library.
And was it, in your opinion, do you think that person, or from what you were able to gauge, that person who may have been firing those shots then moved to the library because they were close, they were in that direction? Hard to say.
So, I mean, I think everybody was already getting ready to go to class because at 12:30, that's when most of the other classes start. So,
That person that may have fired the weapon, do you think, were they close enough to the library, though, that they could have maybe taken cover in that building when law enforcement showed up, though, do you think?
Oh, I have no idea.
No
There's
idea.
so many buildings you can jump into.
Could be any one of them.
You can jump to the right with Winship, which is like the science, or you can go to the library, or you could go to the left, which is the academic.
And then when you were able to leave the campus, how many other students would you say were probably still in that area?
A lot, because then you'll have the occasional, student that wants to be, sticking around and trying to look and see what happened. There was a couple of those there, but majority of us, we left. We did not want to stay around.
Is this something that you would ever anticipate, Kathy, would have happened on the Lone Star College campus?
No, because Lone Star, you feel so safe. It's such a good school, and it's not a big school, so you really feel like you're at home. And I live literally blocks away from Lone Star, so it was really scary. I never would have thought it would have happened.
Were you able to, do your parents live in the area? Were they concerned? Were you able to contact them?
No, because I actually got my phone locked up, but they're worried. I still probably have to call them here in a minute. They live more than 3 hours away in Victoria, Texas, so I'm sure they're very concerned. Okay,
well, Kathy, we'll let you go so that you can make that call to your parents, because that is so important. Kathy Rodriguez joining us here, a first-year student at Lone Star College, a witness to gunshots. She said several gunshots fired as she was waiting for class to begin. Thank you, Kathy, and please be safe. I want to recap what we know at this point in time. Fox 26 learned around 12:15 this morning, and that is corroborated by the student who was a witness to this shooting. So around 12 o'clock, 12:15 this morning, gunshots were fired on the campus of Lone Star College. This is the North Harris County campus within the Harris County Community College system, that Lone Star College. We heard initially that one person was in custody, but there could be another person that police were searching for. We've seen in these live pictures police surrounding this building, which we believe to be the library, where the shooting happened near to. And basically they have been clearing each floor of the library, floor by floor, the first floor, the second floor, and now onto the third floor. We've heard that the students were evacuated. During that evacuation process, at first we saw students very calmly being escorted in large groups by law enforcement away from that building that you just saw. Then a little bit later, students with their hands raised over their heads running away from that building. About that same time, we saw some of the law enforcement there in what appeared to be SWAT fatigues kind of gear up with weapons, with guns, and they rushed into that building that we just showed you. Not a lot, but maybe a couple at a time, 2 or 3 at a time, and then also formed a type of military stance outside, kind of standing guard. We've heard that there were multiple shooting victims. We don't know what the extent of those injuries are, although we've heard that 1, maybe 2 people were transferred to Bentab Hospital, transported. 1 person may have been shot in the leg. We saw several people on stretchers around 12:30, 12:45, lunchtime. They were being treated by medical personnel on those stretchers and being moved into ambulances, some of them with neck braces on, some of them sitting upright, most of them moving, though. No one with what appeared to be serious injuries, 1 guy in a wheelchair. We saw some medical personnel treating people on the ground. And at this point in time, we have moved to where now several local schools are on lockdown. We have Parker Intermediate, Dunn Elementary, 4 Aldine ISD campuses on lockdown, Nimitz High School, Nimitz Middle School. The initial report was that all campuses west of the Hardy were on lockdown. Many of those schools were able to send notices to parents to let them know what was going on. We talked to Don Clark for quite a while. He is formerly with the Houston FBI, and his advice to parents, if you have students at those schools, even though it's a very, very scary, horrible situation, is stay put and wait for a law enforcement or parent, or I'm sorry, let me backtrack, wait for the schools to contact you and let you know where to go from there, because you could be putting yourself or your child in danger if you try to go get them.